Made it. Hold on, let me plug in. How's everybody doing? DOMMY gonna reach you here. Trying to make it look like I'm not late as hell. There we go. I hope everybody can hear me. How's everybody doing? Who Bangin Sports Talk. It is Friday night. It is divisional round of the playoffs. Some good games. I'll tell you, if you ask, just give me a couple seconds here. I don't know where my partners are, but we will get to that soon. I'll tell you that the NFL, the way the schedule worked out, it sure as hell favors the 49ers. And when I kind of look back into it, I mean, even some of the last, a lot of the last of their games in the season, they were all on the West Coast. So they've been like kind of chilling. They haven't had really now I know the travel thing keeps on being made a big deal about. I mean, in today's day, I mean, going from Dallas to Tampa isn't really, it's like for me driving from Long Island to Atlantic City. I mean, it's not, and I know it takes, a little bit out of you, and you have to make all the arrangements, get back on the plane and go to San Francisco. If I was them, I would have just flew out from Tampa right then and there the next day. But be that as it may, what is a big deal about is the 2 extra days rest. Them having to play on Monday night and then having to play tomorrow is quite a thing, and obviously it has to favor the 49ers, right? I mean, how could it not favor the 49ers? So that's an interesting angle. I had the Cowboys last week. It was a last-minute decision, and I had the team total with them, and I'm kind of leaning at the team total again this week. I do have a play with the Cowboys involved with it in a teaser. We'll get to that in a little while. I wish the Cowboys had the rest. I kind of think they're just sneaking. They might have been able to maybe pull this game out. But I wasn't going to take if I was going to take anything, it was a teaser. So it was at the beginning of the week, and I teased it up to 9.5. So I got the Cowboys plus 9.5 as part of my teaser. So that's just something that that struck me right away. Another thing is the Jaguars, and the Chiefs. I mean, I know it's like 9 points and stuff, and I feel like the Chiefs are just being like forgotten about. Like they just they don't have to. They know how not to push themselves during the regular season. I know they weren't covering big point spreads and stuff, and 9 is getting up there. But I got a funny feeling that there ain't gonna be no big comeback for the Jags in that game. To be honest with you, I kind of like the Chiefs' first half. We'll talk about that one too. Like I said, 4 interceptions against the Chiefs ain't gonna work. I kind of course, 9 points. It could be, anything could happen, right? So that's something else I was looking at. The old Giants and the Eagles. Interesting game. A game that I've been betting against the Giants. I'll be honest with you, a lot this year, and I've been wrong. And I bet against them again last week, and I'll tell you. I think they're going to lose again. I think it's going to be late. I think the Eagles are going to cover the point spread. The Eagles are not the Vikings. And, the Giants have been on the road now. The Giants have been playing some meaningful football for the last couple of weeks. I don't know. If they could let me tell you, if they could pull this game out, then there's no reason not to just bet them for the Super Bowl, because this magic might be happening, might be really happening. I just feel like they maybe have hit their the end of their run, and I think it's going to be a close game, slow in the first half. The weather isn't supposed to be anything significant. I seen like 12-mile-an-hour winds, and which I don't know. Maybe at 15, maybe you could worry about the kicking game and stuff. And some some stadiums, like I talk about a lot in baseball, some stadiums, depending on how it's configured, the wind more like whips around than blows in a certain direction. I'm not sure about how that stadium is over there in Philly, but that's a tough place, man, to go in and play. Giants, we know, never won there. So something else. And I was talking. I mentioned today on Twitter at Dom541. So the shameless plug. DJ is rebooting now, probably having a little bit technical issues. So he'll be here soon. Anyhow, what I was saying was the 15-mile-an-hour winds. That maybe is something to be concerned with. But not. It says 12 now. Who knows? We'll see what happens at game time. I don't think weather's going to be an issue with this game. I feel like it starts out slow, and it's going to be a tight game, and maybe the final. I think there's going to be points scored. I really do. There's just going to be certain things are going to happen. There might be a defensive touchdown. There's something weird is going to happen. It's the Eagles and the Giants. It's really such a great game, and let's face it. Obviously win it's better, but win or lose, Daniel Jones should have a contract waiting for him for the next 5 years. And this is coming from somebody that was dead against him. But listen, he worked at it. He finally found the right coach. And in respect to him, he had to go through a lot of coaches, a lot of different, systems. He came out of Duke, got put on the New York Giants, one of the most prestige teams, And I always wondered, like, where the hell would this kid, we heard a little bit about him in college football, but, where the hell did he really come from? And, like, he was also the Giants guy. And he took a lot of stuff, man, in the beginning. Being from New York, where the Giants play, I'm in Long Island, but I'm on, like, the New York City, Long Island, Nassau County, Long Island borderline. It's just 2 miles or so east of the new Islanders Stadium, and I was like 3 miles west of the old one, so I was right in the middle of that. So that's it's about a 20-minute drive to Citi Field, but I'm about 30 miles over the bridge to Giant Stadium. So let me tell you, he was getting some flack. Especially on the New York radio, those of you that know about, New York radio is pretty big, WFAN and ESPN's New York station. And I'll tell you, Eli was getting killed by all the people and stuff. And a lot of people, including me, had to eat their words. So shout out to Daniel Jones. I probably said Eli. And the comparison there, and that's why the comparison to Eli Manning is definitely there. The way he's come up. The way he started, Eli used to get a lot of stuff too. And Eli had that baggage of being a Manning, which was never easy, but Eli dealt with it. And no one ever thought that, the old, but that's just like, Eli's like the sly poker player, make believe you don't, have you're asleep and you really know what's going on. So Eli always had that, that aw shucks type of thing, and like always in the big city in New York City, blah blah blah. But it worked out, and Daniel Jones is on that same trajectory. So we'll talk about that game too. Even though, like I said, I like the Eagles. Much respect to what's going on and I am a Jet fan, but much respect to the Giants in that area. So we do have contact. Landing has made it. DJ Big Boss in the house. Coming on in, DJ. How you doing? There you is. Where you at? He came in, he left. All right, so that was the DJ's appearance today, everybody. I think he's having technical difficulty. I see a little freeze in the back. I think he's having a little, but I hear some clicking. So there he goes. I see head movement.
A lot of freeze in the back.
I see head movement. I seen some kind of like substance coming out of his mouth like a dragon. So anyhow, DJ Big Boss, what is happening?
What up, Dow? How y'all?
Joey Work, what's up? Joey Work in the house. What's up, Joey? How you doing? I just noticed that, man.
What's up, Joey?
What's happening?
I heard you over here on the West Coast, Joey. Holla at your boy.
Yeah, I heard you had tickets for a game or something tonight. TJ, when you typed in, it came under my name? You typed in, you said, Joey, what's up, champ? Oh, it came out of both that. You typed Joey, what's up, champ? And it came out, Who Bangin', and then my name. So weird. Anyhow, Joey, good to see you, man. Much love for Joey Work. One of the OG original low baggers. Always will be. But, yeah. So, DJ, what's happening?
Make sure y'all, nothing much, man. Just happy Friday to everybody out there. Little technical difficulties. been a while since I had to reset and reboot, so it takes a little while for me to get on. But I was getting a fresh dew,
Uh-oh.
so I was a little bit
Do they
late. But
wax?
the night is still young for me, man. The night is still
Yeah.
young, so I'm
Yeah.
here to talk NFL. What's going on with
That's
the
it.
NFL?
That's it. That's it. Hey Joey, just one quick thing. I was going through all the old old videos and stuff, and looking to. I just wanted to see all old stuff. And way back there, about 3 years ago, there was a Betwise Sportsnet. Joey doing college basketball. And it was just funny, Joey, that that you came in the chat today, because I just seen that the other day, and I was like, I got to give a shout out to Joey. So anyhow, by the way. Our boy Big RAGOO can't make it tonight. Some little family issues came up that he has to deal with, so he won't be with us tonight. But he will be back with us. So you'll see him. It's RAGOO. We'll see him. So anyhow, much love to Big RAGOO. So NFL football, DJ. We have a divisional round of NFL football. I think some good games. Some. You never know. I mean, you know how it is this time of year. It seems like point spreads sometimes don't really mean as much. Seems like when the big numbers seem to hit a lot, and I don't know. It just seems like, and when the underdog usually like wins outright or gets crushed. Maybe not last week, but in general. But some good games this week. We got 2 tomorrow. I was just pulling that up. And so what I was talking about before you came on, I just went over the games, just a little bit, some quick stuff over the games. And so I'll ask you before we dive really into it, what an advantage for the 49ers have with the scheduling. I mean, they've been on the West Coast, even on their away games towards the end of the season. And, they were home. They had the bye week. Dallas had I don't think the travel thing has much to do with it, because, I mean, everybody's making a big, I mean, Dallas to Tampa, that's like me driving to Atlantic City. It's not really, But more of it is the 5 days, the 2 days less, rest and preparation. That, to me, is a big deal for the Cowboys, who I kind of was liking, and I had them last week, and I had the team total last week, and I have them in the play this week. But I don't have them to win. That's for sure. They're just part of a teaser. But how do you look at that game? Do you just think San Francisco is just ready to run through this?
I mean, San Francisco is a really, really, really good team.
Yeah, man.
Cowboys are a really good team too. There is supposed some challenge. There's a lot of tradition there. There's a lot of rivalry, some good stuff in that game right there. So I'm a Niner fan. I can't be too biased on here, so I'm not gonna push the 49er line, this, that, the third, but we do have a great defense. Our offense is clicking on all cylinders, and we do have a rookie quarterback, which is no big deal in the NFL nowadays. These guys are bred to come out and do what they have to do. We've been doing this for sure. While, so it's no big deal. Sometimes you might get the best out of a player. When a person doesn't know much and they just listening to what the coach say and doing what they're supposed to do, they can do things that they may not be capable of. But once they start getting the mind of their own, start getting in likeness of this person or that person and favoritism, and next thing you know, you got Colin Kaepernick, a guy that was great one year and just terrible the next year, like back to back.
Right.
I'm trying to look at this weekend, though. I'm really trying to figure this out overall, because we know the National Fix League is difficult. It's difficult to cap up in here. There's always going to be some curveballs being thrown in here. So overall, out of all the games, all the teams left, who do you think, Dom, is the weakest team of the teams that are left?
Shout out to Uncle Hank. Who's the weakest team? I think are the Jaguars. I think they're going to get trounced.
The weakest team are the Jaguars?
Yes, they're going to get trounced. I think the Jaguars and maybe the Giants after that.
Who do you think is the most powerful team, the most promising team?
I would have liked to seen this Dallas. I would have liked to seen this Dallas San Francisco game. Like with Dallas having the full week and the whole thing. I would have liked to seen that game play each other. There was something about Dallas that really made me think that they flipped maybe flip the switch and we're going to do something. But this 49er team is just too tough. And, the NFL, like I said, the scheduling definitely favors them through for the last part of the year. And with them, and they earned the bye, but I think that they're a tough team to beat. I will say that. I will say this.
We didn't get the bye though. Niners didn't get the bye.
No, but they had off last week, is what I meant. Yeah. What I meant was
last week.
I meant, you know what I meant.
But
the I meant with them playing home, the whole thing,
game,
right? They didn't have the bye, right?
I get it.
And there's 5 days rest instead of really 7. I mean, the Cowboys had to play Monday night. That's just the thing, man. But I would have liked to seen them at an even thing. I will say this: I think the winner of this game is the one going to the Super Bowl. If Dallas pulls off this upset, then I think Philadelphia is going to have a problem with Dallas the following week. That's how I look at it. But to answer your question, the Jaguars.
And who do you think is the dark horse?
I guess the Giants. I guess the Giants are the dark horse. I mean, I don't like them tomorrow, but I haven't liked them all the way through, and I was wrong.
I mean, well, X's and O's with the Giants is they have a really good defense, and not so much more on the rush than the pass, but the offense will do whatever it takes to try to win. It seems at times, but they Dr. and Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. A bad day of the Giants looks horrible. A good day looks like they may be going to the Super Bowl, but that's crazy right there.
But the Vikings had a lot to do with their win. I mean, you're playing who you're playing, right? But the Vikings just were terrible. Anyone was beating the Vikings last. Any team playing the Vikings in that wild card game, the Vikings were losing. They were just terrible.
Tell me this.
And the Eagles aren't the Giants, and the Eagles aren't the Vikings. I don't see Daniel Jones running rampant through the freaking Eagles all day long. I don't see it. Yeah. But go ahead.
Who do you think, out of all of the games this weekend in the NFL, which one is more likely as an upset? Upset alert. Who would you put upset alert on?
Again, I don't know if Dallas would be the upset. If Dallas won, would that be? What would be a bigger upset to me? Well, I don't think the Jaguars. I don't think the Jaguars have a shot. I really don't. So I'm going to leave them out. So I mean, obviously that would be the answer, but I'm leaving them out. I would say go back again to the Giants. I don't think Dallas is much of an upset as Giants would be with the Eagles in Philadelphia, where they haven't won in a long time. I'd love to know what Joey Work thinks about this. He's right in there. That's his area right there, man. But and he knows how to distinguish his heart from his captain. That's for sure. But that's my answer, man. Come back to the Giants again.
The Giants again. Well, see, I think my pick for the upset of the week is gonna be the Bengals, because the Bills had to play their little hearts out against a young Dolphin team, and turn around. They got to play this young Bengals team.
I don't think that's such an upset, though.
It can happen. I
don't think it's such an upset, though.
I don't think it's such an upset.
Not as much as the Giants beating the Eagles. I don't think.
No, not as much. No.
That's my point. No, that was my point. When I thought the most, I kind of. So since you mentioned it, and I already said it before, so I might as well tell you. My teaser is the Cowboys plus 9.5 and the Bengals plus 11. That's my teaser. Now, I don't have the heart. I didn't have the heart to take the Bengals at the 5.5, and I guess they would be an upset. But hey, when they had that accident in that game, I mean, it was early and it was first quarter or whatever. They were playing good, man. They came out of the gate pretty good. The Bills that emotion carried the Bills the last 2 weeks. They didn't play great these last 2 wins. The score doesn't tell you how they played. They had 2 touchdown returns in that first game. Josh Allen hasn't been taking care of the ball. And I think that emotion, man, just runs out, runs too quick. Now, playing in Buffalo was great. And, yeah, I guess it would be an upset. Yeah, I mean.
So I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm taking Bengals plus the points.
Yeah. That's
where I feel the most value. That's where I think the waters are so light that Bengals may get away with this one. So I'm gonna I'm gonna push that game to the side now, and I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
focus on the
I
other
got. Let me
the
ask you
games
one
that's left.
question. Let me
Mhm.
ask you one question. What game would you put a money line bet on? What underdog would you put a money line bet on this week?
The
You have to
Bengals,
give me a money line bet. That Cincy?
the
Yeah,
Bengals,
okay.
the
It's a
Bengals.
good
Yeah,
pick. It's a good pick.
and 5.5 is a bad number too. I
It's
mean,
a
I ain't gonna say it's
bad
a bad
number.
number. It's not the greatest number.
What,
Five and a half.
that
The
game is
book is
when, DJ? That game is
that
what
one is
day?
on Sunday. That's the
Okay.
Sunday early game.
Let's see if the point spread changes a little bit. Let's
What the
see if
weather's gonna look like in that game? That's another question I wonder too.
yeah, I'll look that up. I'll look that up right now. Say hi to our boy Don Player, Uncle Hank. What's up,
Don
Donnie?
play. What up, though?
So yeah, so I mean, if let's go, let's go. What I did was I didn't take too many bets as far as the games, and I didn't take any totals so far. But I did something I rarely do, and I took a bunch of props, not for a lot of
Whoa.
money, for a little bit of money, but I took like six or seven, and a bunch of plus monies and see where it happens. One of the games I took was I'll pull them up. I'll pull them up because it
I
has
had my
one.
first
I pull them up.
last week. I had my first week of winning props. Man, I actually won a prop Metcalf to score anytime touchdown plus 220 last week.
Right.
So that did me some justice. I like that one.
All right, so let's just go by the first game of the day. Right, is tomorrow. Is Jacksonville at Kansas City? That's the first game of the day. Now, I heard as far as props concerned, Jacksonville's running back. I never could pronounce his name. Etany.
ETN,
Yeah,
ETN.
ETN. His receiving yards was 18 and a half. Now it's 19 and a half. The Chiefs have let up the most receiving yards, like they're like number 3 and number 4 in the league, letting up receiving yards to running backs. So I kind of thought that was a kind of a low number. If he catches one or two out of the backfield, he'll hit that number. So that's something. I mean, if I know that stat, then the Jacksonville knows that, right? So I
Right.
just thought that might. I didn't take it, but I thought that was a sneaky prop. But head to head, Kansas is 6-1 straight up and against the spread versus Jacksonville. But those kind of stats don't mean nothing because Jacksonville is the first year they're playing good in a couple of years. So let's see top team trends. Kansas City is 6-1 against the spread. Last 7 games versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville is 8-2 under on the road versus offenses that are scoring less than 15 yards per point. All that nonsense. But there's a couple of stupid trends there for the game. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, came back in that game, but that was the Chargers' fault, right? They kept on passing the ball. They didn't run the ball. They kept on giving the Jacksonville chances, and the Chargers handed that game away, right?
Hey,
Isn't that what
that's what
happened?
separates Super Bowl teams from
All right. So now
non-Super
Kansas
Bowl
City's not
teams. You
going to
got to
do
be
that.
able to finish the game. But I'm
Right.
gonna tell you now, in the Kansas City game,
I
I
like the
don't like
first
the
half.
number. I don't
I
like the
like the
number
first
at
half.
all.
That's it. I like the first half. I don't like the number either because it's
If I
the
were to take the first half, I would probably lean taking Jaguars. Well, I don't know. No, I'll take Jaguars second half because the thing that I know about Kansas City Chiefs is they can play flat in the second half. That's why a lot of times Mahomes has to win the game because they beat and scored like no points in the second half, and then he has to come back after having like a 28-point lead or something like that. So I'm going to be looking for a live bet under somewhere in the second half for that Kansas City game.
right.
I don't want to be involved with the side. The number's too big. Kansas City probably will cover the number, but I'm not going to count Trevor Lawrence all the way out. Like he's too young.
No,
You don't know what
no.
things
He
he's going
proved
to
that
bring to the
last week.
fight.
Right.
He might bring a bazooka or something. You don't know what he bringing to the fight for this fight.
Right.
So I'm gonna stay away from that. I would kind of love it if the Jaguars did beat the Chiefs because I don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But
I mean, the way they lost the last couple of years. What my point with Jacksonville is, they can't be making mistakes in the first half and let the Chiefs go up the Chargers did, because then it's all over. I mean, the Chiefs might like sneaky backdoor cover type of thing, but if they
Yeah,
have a chance to beat them, they need to be, they got to be within at least a touchdown at the half. They can't get blown out in the half, that kind of thing.
yeah.
That's what I mean.
And
Go
let's
ahead.
think about it overall. The Jaguars, if they were, they just not. If they were to come close in the fourth quarter, they're not really molded enough.
They step off the.
They're just getting good or whatever. Like this ain't their year. Like no, they're not gonna win the Super Bowl or anything like that. So this may be where they just exit right here. I mean, like I said, if they use some of their youth and try to fight this, they may have a chance at it. But if they get close, they probably won't do the things that they need to do to finish off a team like the Chiefs. So yeah, definitely Chiefs. You maybe like if I was gonna take a teaser, I'm teasing the Chiefs down because I think that money line wise they would be great, but you wouldn't get nothing at money line. So if you put them in a teaser, tease them down 6 points, get you a 3
Under
or a
3.
3.5.
Right
Yeah,
now, I mean, I'm seeing 8.5. I mean, under 3 would you want to go under 3 if you're going to make that teaser,
yeah. I mean,
and that's
if you want to
beautiful.
go,
No,
yeah,
that's the move. I mean,
yeah. So I would be
so
teasing.
I got some
We're gonna
weather
start
for
the
you.
teaser off tomorrow with the Chiefs teased down. So the next game will be the Eagles and the Giants.
Right.
I don't like. I don't. Okay, so let me tell you my gripes with these two teams. My gripe with the Giants are they want to cut it on and cut it off when they feel like it. They've managed to make it through the season, cutting it on and cutting it off, and got this far. To tell you the truth, their last win was a great accomplishment for that team. They can pack it up right now and leave with their heads
Yes,
high
sir.
and
Yes,
hopes
sir.
for next year.
Yes,
Now
sir.
this Eagles team has to be. I feel even though they have all the numbers to prove it and everything, but I feel like they've been one of those lucky teams all year, just like the Cowboys. They've been sliding by in the fourth and lucking up and beating the bad teams, tying the good teams, all that kind of stuff all year. But they have a great quarterback in Jalen Hurts. They have a good defense. They can run the ball a little bit, but the only thing about the Achilles heel to them is Jalen Hurts because he's such a mate the whole team that if you can figure out a way to bottle him up, you got them bottled up. And I don't
Is
know
he
if the
hurt?
coach. I don't think
That's
so.
the
I think he's
question.
back.
Is Hurts hurt? Is he
Is Hurts
bullshit?
hurt?
Is he hurt still? I mean, that's the question. That's all they're talking about. Is he? Are they holding back? Is he more hurt than they're saying? I
I,
think it's less. I think it's
I'm
less.
not. I'm not gonna.
I think it's an okey doke.
In the playoffs, I'm not gonna even
No, I
speculate
say it's an
on if
okey
somebody
doke.
hurt or
I
not.
don't. It's an okey doke,
If he
man.
was hurt, they would give him something to make him unhurt
Yeah, exactly.
in the
Exactly.
playoffs. So I'm not gonna worry about if he's hurt or not. He's gonna play. That's all we need to know, and it's just gonna be how well he's gonna play. So I don't know. I guess we would have to dig into the total on that game because I don't really like a side. Like it really, if I was gonna take a side in that game, I would have to take the side live because I want to see what type of team Giants team hits the field that day. I kind of got an idea what Eagles gonna do, especially at home, but I just don't know what what Giants team we're gonna get that day. And we're looking at a 48. Of course, I'm always trying to lean under for the sake of defense, but
Without a doubt.
uh,
Without
these
a doubt. If
playoff
the
games,
48, you want a teaser? You want the other end of your teaser? You were talking before?
tease it
Tease
up.
this under 48 to 54. Let me
Oh yeah,
I don't think the Giants. I think the Giants are going to come out flying. I don't think Daboll is going to have their team on and off. I think they got better little by little as the year went on. I don't think that's going to happen. I just think that they aren't as good as they're not as good as the Eagles. Got to really kill themselves and beat themselves for them to lose this game. I mean, all the pressure's on the Eagles, but I think the
I'm
Giants could
with
be in
you.
for
Frank, I'm
a
with
little
you.
bit of
I'm
an
leaning with you.
awakening tomorrow. I think it's going to be a close game. The first half, I love the first half under, but I was hoping for a 24. I'm hoping it gets better, but it was 23.5. So I was leaning the under also in this game. Here's one for you, DJ.
Mhm.
Here's one for you. Something about the under right here. Philadelphia is 7-0. The last 7 games at home, playing the Giants. there's a lot of other trends hitting. I think this game's going to start out slow. I think it's going to be kind of close. I think it's going to be kind of close, and then I think the Eagles going to pull away at the end. The weather, I got it all up here. The weather in Kansas City, 6 mile an hour wind. There's no big thing. 36 degrees, 65% chance of some precipitation. Nothing to really change the game. The next game, oh no, that was by the hour. That was like 5 o'clock at 3 o'clock. So that's that game. So the weather ain't going to affect the Eagle game. The Kansas City game. Eagles game, rain, insane rain, 90% chance, wind around 10 miles an hour. Oh no, that's Cincinnati. I don't know whether they didn't put it in. Oh, it must be in AFC and NFC. So right now I just got the Buffalo weather. Buffalo weather is rainy, 10 degrees, typical Buffalo weather. Yeah. 36 degrees, rainy, a little bit of wind, but it's not gonna affect those two teams, Cincinnati and Buffalo. They know how to play in bad weather, so it's not. And there's no travel really. Is that Nasty 8 in his house? Nasty 8, Mr. Trifecta. What's happening, Nasty? So yeah, and I'll get the weather for that. So go ahead.
So I think I got my mind made up now because I'm gonna go. That's what I needed. All I really needed was what I was gonna do in the Giants game because we're gonna do Chiefs tees down, Eagles tees to the under. Of course, we're gonna take the Bengals plus the tees, with the extra points, and then we're gonna. I mean, I hate to go across the line, but I'm gonna have to take the Niners tees down. At plus 2 or +1 or something like that.
Right. You got told. Oh, that's right. You do those 3-team teases. Okay, I got you.
No, 14 for the whole weekend right there.
Oh, okay.
Chiefs,
I got you.
Chiefs under in the Eagles, Bengals, and the 49ers tees down.
All right. Let me see.
But you know what? In the 49ers
where the money
game,
is going.
It might be better to tease the under. Tease the over down and get it at like 40 because,
tease the over down of the Eagles game.
No, I'm talking about the Cowboys. 49ers.
That's not a bad way either.
Instead of taking the Niners, take the
total
over under. Take the over.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
Those teams, they're going to try to showcase their scoring.
Yeah, I see points.
What Purdy do? His points are going to come in that game.
I kind of like the Cowboys team total over. So, yeah. Terrell Riley just says take the over in the Giants-Eagles game. And, that number 48 is kind of, it's a tough number. It's right on there. And there's a case to be made to tease that down to 42 to go over. That's a tough one. That's something I gotta keep in mind. I was looking at the money splits.
Or do you think we should tease the Eagles down? Tease the Eagles down to 2.
I'm not touching that game. I have some props in that game, and that's it.
My teaser.
My teaser is the Bengals plus 11.5 and the Cowboys plus 9.5. That's my teaser. So that's what I played so far. That's and if I was going to put another one in, I would do it with the totals. I would probably do it. How could you not like Cincinnati plus 11.5? I just like that end of it. I'm
gonna make mine's official, man.
There you go. Because mine I made official. I bet it during the week. So let's take a little.
Our guy in the chat said over in the game, and that's not even teased. So
yeah, no, that's what I said. Terrell Riley said take the Giants Eagles over. Yeah. No, he likes that. Giants want revenge. Yeah, I hear you. I've been hearing a lot about that.
If I think the Giants want revenge, I'll be better taking the Giants tease up to 14. I get 2 touchdowns. But
if you like the Giants, if you like the Giants, plus 7.5 is a great number. You're over that touchdown. That's a great number. Right? if you're gonna,
I don't
I
like
don't
the
know.
Giants because I don't. You know what? I'm gonna tease the Eagles down because the Giants, the Giants put out a lot of gas last week in their game too, and they can be drained out of gas. Like they got some good stuff out of Barkley and them back last week. I don't think, Eagles defense is a little bit tougher, and I don't think that they might. It might be a lopsided Eagles game. Eagles might look like a clear winner of the NFC after beating on the Giants.
Yeah. Nasty, I agree with you. Is that my boy Gamby in the house? Is that DX Filer in the house? What's up, Gamby? That's my boy right there. How you doing, man? Good to see you. I might be in Foxwoods in a couple weeks. My girl's itching to go. She likes playing that high stakes bingo in Foxwoods. I'll DM you, my brother. We'll
So
catch a game in the sports book.
I made
What's
mine's
up?
official, man. Mine's is official.
Go ahead.
Kansas City -3.5. Eagles
Tell me who you guys
-2.
like. Yeah.
Bengals +11.5.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
over 40.5 in the Dallas 49ers game.
That's a good one. That's your little four-teamer. Crazy. I'll pull up my props. You could see which ones you like or which ones you don't like. As far as the money is going for so the first game, as you would suspect, the Chiefs got 55% of the tickets, 62% of the handle at -9. Even at -460, 80% of the bets both ways, tickets and handle. That's crazy, right? That people would actually bet that, even though it's a small number of people. The total, 53. Under 53, 37% of the bets, but 52% of the money. So the bigger bets are coming in on the under 53 in the Chiefs game. That's a little interesting. In the Giants game, the over is getting the money. 67% of the tickets, 75% of the money. Whereas 35% of the tickets, 27% of the money on the under. So over 48 is getting the bigger money bets. And how are the Giants doing? Yeah. The Eagles, 30% of the tickets, 45% of the money. So the public is all over the Giants, man. 70% of the tickets are on the Giants.
Nice.
Yeah, the whole public loves that thing, man. Cincinnati and the Bills, pretty even. Pretty even. The over is getting it's weird. It's a weird number. 80% of the money, 70% of the cash on the over. 20% of the tickets, 30% of the cash on the under. 49. That's a little strange. What about the money line? Plus 205. The Bengals. 60% of the money, 70% of the cash. So there you go. A few people are saying, let me take like Doc said, take a little sprinkle on the money line for the Bengals. Like you said, if you had to take one bet on a underdog on the money line, who would it be? And we both said the Bengals, which is, proven by this one. And at the end of the day, the last game, yeah, the Niners split down the middle, 60%, 60%.
So if your boy A in the chat, he says just tease down Chiefs and Eagles, which I did. So then next I'm just gonna have the Bengals and the Niners. So I think I got a clear winner now. Thanks to the chat.
That's what I was saying, Gamby. Is Hurts hurt? We don't know. Is he playing the okie dokie? And that's I don't know. He's playing okie dokie, or are they gonna have to just give him a nice little old school, tie him up and get him out in the ball field.
Just a little bit of Novocaine clears everything.
And it's his non-throwing shoulder, but still, injury is an injury. One thing we didn't mention, and it's a big thing, is the Bengals, and this is their big problem. Their 3 offensive linemen out. Their starters are out. 3 of them hurt over the last 2 weeks. That could be an issue. But, I mean, it's the playoffs, and these guys, they're playing backup all this time for them to step up. So, and it's not like Buffalo has the greatest defensive line. So, but that is an issue. The regular offensive line is a little screwed up. So, Come on, VCU. Give me. Oh, good. I got over team total over 66.5 with VCU. They got 59 points. They're up by 10 against Richmond, and there's still almost 8 minutes left. So good, very good.
Hey, shout out to my man Damon Santor in the chat right there.
Hey Dame, what's
My
happening, man?
man, my man said
Good to
he got
see you.
shot up last week and almost fainted. That sucks, man. Well, get well soon, man. Glad you in here with us today, and much love to you, my brother. Hope you get over any injuries that you had with that one, boss.
So let me get to. I'm gonna pull up some of my props that I got. Like I said, you know me, I'm not a prop player, but this week I took some props, mostly in the Dallas game and mostly in the Buffalo game. Let's see, I'll pull them up as we're talking. I'll pull them up. But yeah, there we go. As far as I'm concerned, this is a pretty good weekend of football. I mean, last week was crazy. Last week it was like what's going to happen. What crazy freaky thing is going to happen, and we know probably tomorrow the same thing is going to be with the. You know how the national football has been this year,
Yeah,
right? So
it might be bad that I'm on the side. I might get that Chiefs upset that I asked for, but it's okay.
okay, so we're talking props now. So Yobai says under. Maybe let's put it up. There it goes. Under on Burrow's passing completions under pressure all game. I mean, yeah, I know. I know a lot of people right away are like, "Oh, these two quarterbacks, they got to be over." Not really. I mean, we see what happened with Buffalo last week. I mean, 17 points they were up, and then it kind of like stalled, and then they had to get it started again.
Hey,
I
but two
agree.
weeks in 2 weeks in a row, right? The Bills, um, even with the whole drama that's going on over there, they came out in the first half like they were going to be dominant, and then
Yeah.
ended up tied at halftime and had to win the game in the second half. But this is interesting right here while we on the show since it's Friday night. So there's a debate in the chat right here, right? This is a good one right here. That your boy A says under on Burrow's passing completions under pressure all game. My boy Damon out of SD, that's one of my boy Paco's partners. I met that guy right there. He's a more of a prop fantasy guy. Like he's not even more on the size or the total. He mostly all does FanDuel fantasy stuff like that. He's really
Right.
good at it. Him and Paco, I think, in the pub contest came very close. If
Okay,
they
that's who
didn't
you
end
talk.
up the
Okay,
same,
I seen that. I remember seeing Paco, and I remember seeing another name. I got you now. I know
yeah,
what you're talking
that's him
about.
right there.
Uh
But
huh.
he says,
What's up, bro?
where did it go? He says if he's under pressure, right? Wouldn't that mean more completions? And it depends on how you look on football. Because if you're a good quarterback and you're under pressure, then you're gonna get rid of the ball real fast, and that would lead to more completions and less yardage. But if he's under pressure all game and he doesn't really get the ball get out at all, then he's gonna go under in completions and yards. But that's an interesting look for prop bettors because I mean I'm still learning a little bit about props. Last week I hit the Metcalf anytime touchdown plus 220. Yeah, I said it twice on the show. I'm proud of myself for that. But the props are different angles you have to take in order to score on those props, man. And shout out to y'all guys that really do that prop thing well, man.
Yeah,
Big
that's
Wham,
cool.
all of them.
I fool around with the FanDuel thing every week in football. Always put in a couple of those big contests, just to fool around. Not that I invest a lot of money into it, but I know, like my son-in-law's into that fantasy stuff too. I know that's a whole different ball game, and that's a whole different way of thinking about, like you said, on how to cap and how you cap it and stuff. So that's very, very cool. That I definitely respect that myself. That's something that's always something to think about in the future, having some kind of fantasy show up because a lot of people play fantasy, or even the daily fantasies and the and the leagues and stuff. So it's always something good to talk about. That's for sure. Let me pull up these
Yeah.
damn Let's see. Did I win any games here? Let's see. Let's see. All right. Football props. Let's see. How the hell did he do that like this?
I know in the 49er game last week, everybody was on Debo Samuels. It took a long time for him to get it, but he got it.
Playoff
But
Debo.
But I was looking for the Ayuk guy, who is another
Ayuk.
one of his favorite receivers. In that game, he caught some very significant passes for some deep yardage, but just didn't make it into the end zone. And the one pass that he got in the end zone, he dropped. So I think he's still live for this week as far as props in the 49er game to score a touchdown. But I heard a little tidbit earlier today on I don't know what I was listening to, but they were saying, oh, it was that my guy Sharpie. Sharpie was talking about tight ends been eating with as far as anytime touchdowns because every team tight end is scoring. They're figuring out ways to get them the ball in the playoffs. So that's another look too on those big tight ends.
Yeah, I got Goddard in one of. I got Goddard because Hawkinson ran all over that. Hawkinson scored. Was the only player that the Giants couldn't cover is that over the middle, and I took Goddard today. And Kelsey's another look. I know everybody loves Kelsey, and but he's another look. The Jaguars, that middle of the field, they've given up a lot. They give up a lot to those kind of players. So that's he's right about that, and and that's why I took Goddard. So yeah, I knew that. What the hell, man? They must be a lot of people must be betting. Man, I can't get on my Bet US site. I got a I got a Dallas. I got a Lamb prop. I got a Debo Samuel prop. The hell, I'll see if I could. Maybe I'd have to reboot this. But anyhow, I got a bunch of props.
Hey, the chat is moving faster than us, Dom. They say Hurts anytime TD. Somebody else had Debo rushing yards, cash first last week. They got them too over there. Like I said, the angles on the props, if you can find them, I hear a lot of people who give out picks for props. And yeah, you have to have an angle behind it, no matter if it's personnel, no matter, it's got to be an angle behind it. Like even when I took Ayuk and Metcalf, I know those are some of the receivers that the quarterback frequently goes to. So,
without a doubt. Damn, I wish I could pull this up. I can't pull this up. Anyway, because I don't remember what the hell they were. I remember a couple of them, but so I have an interest in the Chiefs first half. That's for sure. I have the Bills and the Bengals. I think it was over 5.5 total touchdowns, not passing touchdowns. Total touchdowns was plus 130. I kind of didn't understand it, but I took that. Even though I think it could go under, I still think that I took that prop. It could be, unless that was the other game.
If any of these games go under on Saturday, they're gonna be the first game to go under in the playoffs because all last week was all overs, all the way down to the last one, which was only by a half a point. So I'm really, like I said, in the Chiefs game, I'm gonna be watching it live, looking for an under. In the Giants and Eagles game, I'm gonna see what kind of Giants team is gonna show up, and that's gonna decide if I'm gonna take the under or the over. Because if the Giants show up like they can score, like they're gonna pass the ball well and run the ball well, then I'm gonna be leaning towards the over. Because I think Eagles gonna counter whatever they come at them. If they can put up 21, then Eagles gonna try to put up 24. So it's gonna be a battle right there, and that's gonna lean me towards the over. But if the Giants don't show up in any shape, form, or fashion, I think it'd be a lopsided game, something like 27-10 or something like that. And the Eagles, because Eagles are gonna win, but they're gonna not nothing to prove in the playoffs, so they're not gonna run the score up on them or nothing crazy.
Oh, the Eagles. Oh yeah. I totally disagree. It's the Giants. If the Eagles could put up 45, they're gonna put it up.
You think so?
I'm telling you. I don't know if they're gonna put up 45. I'm saying if they will not pull it, 100%. If you're going to talk about that rivalry is unbelievable. Put it this way, man. They're telling people in New York not to even go to the game because it's not even worth the aggravation going into that game. So, let me tell you. And then also, it's going to be crazy. I said, I think the Eagles pull. I think the Eagles pull away late. I think it's going to be a good close game. Eagles pull away late. If the Giants somehow upset the Eagles, those Giant fans better walk out of there like, very respectful and very not braggadocious because they're going to have a hard time. I'm going to tell you, even though it's not as bad as it used to be, it's still crazy. And the rivalry between the Giants and the Eagles will always be super intense. I found some of my props. I got longest reception, C.D. Lamb, over 25.5. I think he's going to have a big day tomorrow. They're going to have to go to him. I could see at least one of his passes being a long bomb. I mean, that's what he does, right? So I took that. Christian McCaffrey, longest rush from scrimmage, 15.5. Where's the other one? Goddard, over 4.5 receptions. Goddard over 4.5 receptions plus 110. Bengals, Bills over 5.5 touchdowns plus 130. Christian McCaffrey over 15.5 yards minus 120. And Lamb over 25.5 minus 115. His longest reception over 25.5, longest reception. That's what I went for the one play that that could break it out. And I didn't take the DB Samuels yet, and I was looking at the Jaguars running back receiving yards. When I told you about the Chiefs giving up a lot of receiving yards to running backs this year, and it's at like 19. It went up a yard from yesterday, so that's what I took so far. And the teaser, like I told you, Cowboys 9.5, Bengals 11.5. I'm taking a look at betting the Chiefs first half. I'm taking a look at betting the Cowboys team total over. And that's kind of where my head is at in this game.
Well, that's it for me too, Dom.
Yeah. What up, Ixonizold in the house? What up, Jimmy? I'm tapping in. Who you like before we get out of here? Anybody let us know. What you guys like on the if you guys like.
Yeah, go ahead and put your plays in the chat. Then next when we come back, we're gonna rewind the chat. We're gonna talk about them plays, who won, and where we're going from there.
Yeah, without a doubt. So tomorrow, what time is the first game tomorrow? That was the day. It's like 3:00, right? It's not. I mean, it's your time is different, but it's regular time. I thought it started a little bit later, although that's Sunday. Sunday, the first game is later. Yeah.
Sunday has the different hours. Yeah.
Some good basketball games are on tomorrow too, man. There's some good games. I was on a couple games tonight. It looks like I lost one and won one so far, and I got a couple still open right now. I didn't see the score of the Villanova Johnny's game. I haven't caught the score. But you want any? You have you had a couple of basketball plays or what today?
Yeah, I was on the under in Stonehill. Check this one out. I had under 144. They scored 78 points in the first half.
What team?
Stonehill and
oh, that's right. You were talking about that. Yeah. It didn't work out.
They only ended it ended up going under because the second half they only scored 61 points. So I cashed my under on that one. Now we waiting on New Mexico and VCU's up 68-51.
Yeah, so I got the over in that game, and I got VCU team total over. I love that play. Like yesterday, Monmouth team total under. We were talking about that in Tisha's game, in Tisha's show. And
you're still in there with Villanova. Yeah. They're winning 47-46 too.
I got Villanova plus 4.5. I kind of felt, if they could keep this game and the game and what I said about this game was that if Villanova could keep slow this game down and not keep the Johnnies from running off the court like they like to do, they have a chance of this game. And it seems like they've been playing better and better, Villanova. And that, it takes a while, man. Jay Wright was like the pillar in that school, and even though the still everything is the same system, same philosophy. They're still, took a while for them to gel. So we'll see what happens. See if it holds on. You never know what happens at the end of these damn games. Last 2 weeks, I had 5 losses in college basketball. Not that I only had. Let me say, I wish I only had 5 losses in the last 2 weeks, but five of the losses were by a half a point, and it happened last night again with that Rutgers game. Oh my God. Anyhow, yep.
Well, that's
so there
it,
you go.
man. You ready to wrap it up?
So let's wrap it up, DJ Big Boss, man. Let's guys watch some of these end of these games. Maybe I'll jump on in the morning and do some college basketball. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of good games on tomorrow, man.
Yeah, maybe we have to jump on the pop-up show or something. But I haven't even capped into tomorrow. I just focus on today.
Yeah, now you do it in the morning.
I take it easy on Saturdays in college basketball. The most upsets, the most weird stuff, everything happens in college on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So I tread lightly on Saturdays, but it's so
I still
many
want to
games.
take a look. Yep. I still want to take a look, take a
there.
couple. The days that have a lot of games on it is the days I take the least amount of bets. I'll find 2 or 3 tomorrow, but instead of 5 to 6, I agree. I agree with you what you're saying that. But I'll find something in the morning. I'm always capping early in the morning. That's my thing. So we'll see what happens. But some good NFL football is what we're all here for. So Damon, thank you, man. Terrell Riley, Don Play, DEX Filer, our boy Ixnizzle. Joey Work was here before. Love Joey Work. Thanks for coming in. Love all you guys. Yo Bi. How is it? Yo. Someone got to do that phonetically.
That's your boy.
Oh, it's your boy. You see, man. See that old white man shit comes out of me. You see that? Sorry, man. That's it, baby.
Shout out to Ixnizzle.
Love you guys.
Don't forget Ixnizzle and Jimmy Gomez Tuesday nights. If you want to have some laughs, have some fun, and some drinks. Live NBA on Tuesdays with Ixnizzle. Thanks everybody for coming.
All right, man. Have a good night. I got it.